So if I had to make my first $1,000 online with $0 to my name, here's exactly what I would do. And funnily enough, this is exactly what I did 8 years ago that allowed me to drop out of school and make my first $900 within the first few days of trying to make an income online. And within a few short weeks, I then later doubled it with a second customer to $1,800 per month. And I actually have a bag here of all of these old checks that I had made from doing this method that I'm going to show you. And these are real actual checks. And I show these to you not because, I mean, one, people don't even, I mean, I don't write checks. I've never written checks, but all of my customers now pay online. And I'm showing you these checks because the method that I'm going to show you here, I was looking for one from like, 2017, 2018. But the method that I'm going to show you here is what I still do to this day, and also something that I learned from being with this problem that I'm going to talk about in person. That's why all these original customers, wrote me checks. This one's for $661. This one's for $150. That's something else. And basically, I started to learn how to actually do what I'm going to show you in this video because I was really with people and really seeing the problem firsthand. This is actually one of the earlier ones. This was from January of 2018. And you can see here, I don't know, I don't want to have everything out there, but you can actually see this is for $4,500. And this was, totally insane for me back then because I was already making my first income in later 2016 online. And in 2017, early 2017, that's basically when I dropped out of school and went all in on what I'm going to share with you. And now I have, built up a client base and customer base of hundreds of people. And you can actually see here, if I go to my transactions in my Stripe account here, and I just show you real life, this is just one of my ways that I make income online. And if I just go to the status of successful payments, because, failed payments, we don't need to see all those, but these are successful payments that come in. There's almost 3,000, and this is my second Stripe account. I actually have another Stripe account from basically from 2017 to about 2020, because my first business was helping these local businesses with like media and content and posting on their social pages. But you can see I've tried out all these different price points. Like I've sold things for $97. I've sold things for $297. You can actually see this is more recently some of the stuff that I'm doing with the method that I'm going to show you. But I've even sold products for $5,800. And I was doing this back in 2020, and I've sold monthly services for $2,000. I've tried all these different methods, and what I'm going to share with you in this video is basically what I would have to do, or what I would do if I started completely from scratch again with everything that I know now. Because a lot of people ask me, now that I have this YouTube channel and I have a group with about 4,000, free members that are interested in learning this type of method. And I even have a private group where people pay to, basically be in a community and learn some of this information. And one of the messages that I get the most often, not everyone seems to do, say this if they're on like a Zoom call in the group with me. But it's like, what would you do if you were starting from zero? Or they're basically asking me questions in a way where it's like, how could you help me, right, without all the advantages that you now have? Because I've been doing it for 8 years, right? I have a brand, I have a reputation, I have results, I have a lot of different things. So even if they're not directly asking me, what would you do from scratch? In a way, that is kind of what they're asking me, right? So that's why I actually have this, these checks here. It's not because I have it at my desk, but I was actually like spending a lot of time really thinking about, man, if I was completely at zero right now, but I had everything that I know, and all the income, streams that I've tested, right, from selling $97 products, $297 products. I've even sold products for $30,000. That one more specifically, what I'm going to show you in this video, kind of a version of that. I sold my first $10,000, or excuse me, it was $30,000 in 3 payments. And I sold this back in 2021, and the Stripe fee alone for this actually was like $350 or something like that. And so I ended up switching it to my QuickBooks because, basically for those 3 payments, I was going to pay $1,200 just to collect the money, which, that's a lot still to me, right? That's an extra $1,200 just to receive the money, right? But I've sold, $30,000 systems, $6,000 systems. I even have some systems in here. I think I could do is greater than like basically $3,000. And I have systems in here that I've sold. So I've kind of tasted all these different ways to make money online. And because of that, right, I have a little bit of an advantage if I was starting at zero, because I kind of know, okay, which one allows me to make the income the fastest, which one allows me to have the best lifestyle, which one allows me to do the least amount of work or is maybe the easiest to outsource. So That's what I want to share with you in this video. And this particular method is going to be teaching you how to build a business in a box for a business and sell it to them for $1,000 or more. Or you can do a different method, a lease back method is kind of what I'm going to call it. So I'll reveal that as we go through it. But that's what we're going to do in this training. And I'm going to show you with real live examples how we can actually do this. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, I'm going to show you, how we can do this in a sustainable way, right? I haven't been making an income online for 8 years just because I figured out some trick or some tactic, right? If you're going to do this the right way, you need to build a brand, you need to build a reputation, people need to trust you, people want to refer their friends to you, right? And you need to provide a great service and be able to solve the problem, right? And so I'm not going to show you some trick, right? I'm actually going to show you, and sometimes this stuff takes a bit of time to walk you through it and be thorough, because that's what's required to actually make this stuff work. You can't just figure out a hack, or there's not just some software or tool where you just do nothing and money just starts printing it, right? Or at least I haven't found it. So I'm going to share with you what I would do if I was completely at zero. And funnily enough, like I said, it's basically what I did without even realizing it back then, except back then it was missing some of the things that you guys have the ability to use now, which can change this entire kind of model for you. So in my opinion, this is the number one way to make an income online based on my skill set and what I know how to do, right? It's not everyone's going to have their number one way, but this is what would work for me and did work for me, right? And I still do to this day. Because number one, it is completely free. Like I'm going to show you things you can pay for to speed up this process or make it easier and stuff like that. But everything I'm going to show you either provides a free trial or just doesn't cost any money. It does cost time. However, like I said, if you want to speed some of it up, you can pay people to help you or get paid versions of some of the things I mentioned and, kind of expedite the process. But all it really takes, right, initially is you to actually understand the problem and then start talking to actual business owners. Then from there, you need to learn how to deliver what I'm going to show you. But really, it's just about you starting conversations, right? Which is free. So the second component is you learn a real skill set to solve a real problem for a real business. Like I'm not going to show you some software tool where you generate some AI images and, make some like thing that really isn't going to work, right? It's just kind of a quick hit where you're like, oh, cool, that's cool. And then it just becomes another thing that you never end up doing, right? This is going to be looking out into the world of business, finding where people are actually spending real money to solve real problems and solving these problems for businesses that frankly don't understand the technology the way that, I do and maybe you do, right? And that was my advantage. I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up with, some advantage, right? I just saw that, hey, look, like I'm good with technology. And if I'm not good at it, I'm at least better than some of these business owners, which is why these checks actually are so important. Because now if you're getting into this space, you're learning all this information online. There's people like me. There's all these like micro influencers where, they can give you this information. Back when I started, this almost wasn't even like a business model that people were teaching, right? It was just like there were some people, but it's not how it is now, right? And so these checks, the reason that I think this was my strategic advantage is because, when you're learning this information online that, hey, you can solve problems for businesses using technology and more specifically softwares and stuff I'm going to show you. I think technology just kind of sounds vague, right? But that is in essence what it is. The reason that I have such a strong advantage is because I spent a year or 2 years with these business owners in person. Like I was with them. We were taking photos for them. We were taking videos for them. And so I was seeing these people don't have websites. They don't know how to build a website. They don't even know how to, check their email and like basic stuff, right? And so you may have seen that. A great example of this is probably your parents or grandparents or, aunts and uncles or, people that maybe your friends' parents, where you see it's like they don't know how to make a website. They don't understand this stuff that we do. So that's our advantage, right? And so when I show you these real skills that you can actually develop, you're going to understand it really just will come down to if you want to do it, right? It's not going to be a matter of if it's possible or is it valuable, because I'm going to show you for sure in this video that it's more than valuable and people are paying for this stuff as we speak. The third component is that once we get the hang of what I'm going to show you, you can hire somebody, a VA, virtual assistant, to do outreach for you so they can help you with some of the tedious stuff, like I said, or you could start there if you already have some savings or income that you can use for this. Or, right, as you start to get the hang of it and sell these systems, you can do inbound marketing. You can pay, for advertisements and things like that to drive traffic to your business, or even better, make content like, the content I'm making where you teach people as well, right, how to do this for their business. Now, the other thing to mention here is that you don't need to stay here, right? You don't need to stay doing what you're going to have to do to get that first $1,000 or more. You just have to understand, hey, this is what I got to do right now. And then eventually I can hire somebody or make it easier for myself, right? But you do have to have that initial sacrifice, because if you don't have any savings, No one's going to really, just do this for you, right? For you to benefit completely free, right? So if you don't have any capital or ability to do this, or you basically just want to see if what I'm sharing will work with the least amount of risk, then you're gonna have to put in some time. That's really the reality of it, right? And the fourth reason that this is in my opinion, the number one way to make an income online is because what I'm going to show you how to build it's not a product, or excuse me, it's not a service, it's a product. So services, right, have a one-to-one relationship with human time, right? So if I told you that I'll wash your car, and you pay me $200 to detail your car, wash it, vacuum it, whatever, right? That's great. I make an income, but it's a service, right? So I have to trade my time for that money, or hire somebody to trade their time for that money, vice versa, right? You could cut it up a bunch of different ways, but anytime you're doing work for somebody, somebody's got to spend time, right? Now, the advantage of the method I'm going to show you is it's more of a product, right? A product or productized service, and you'll see that as I go through it. But that's a huge advantage, because if you have a job, right, or you want to make, which kind of leads me into the fifth point, right, which is that you can charge these higher ticket prices because the work has already been done, right? That's one of the advantages of a product, especially if you have a job, or like I said, you want to make more income, faster, right? With less work. That's an advantage of a product. Think about, like, if you have an iPhone, Android, whatever, laptop, right? These things cost $1,000, and, you instantly pay, right, for that product, and then the fulfillment of the product is essentially delivered when you get the phone, right? And so that's one of the advantages of the method I'm going to share with you, is that it's a product. It's not just something, okay, now I have to go do this, right? You may have to do some of the work custom depending on how you do this, but for the majority of it, should be able to get your first customer that pays you up front a high ticket fee, and then you can build it out, and then I'll show you how you can scale it up where you just duplicate it, okay? And that's actually what I did it was this one specifically. If you guys have been watching the channel, this sale specifically was a sale that I charged $5,800 up front for, and then I had not built the product. And this actually catapulted me into providing one of the main things I provide to this day. So this alone, this $5,800, I collected it, but then it's led to hundreds of thousands of dollars because of this product I built here, which I didn't even have at the time. And so I got paid to build a product that I then now continue to license and sell. And I'm going to show you how this all works, okay? But those are the reasons for me. This is what I would pick with everything I know now, and what I would start with, right? Then I would expand into other sources, right? But this is what I would start with, because you can make basically the highest ticket sales, but you're actually providing something pretty much instantaneously that has value, and you're not like having to like trade all that time for money, okay? So instead of doing kind of this like, marketing psychology that people do on these trainings, and they take you through these secrets of like, you need to know this, you need to know that, and then they reveal some product at the end. I'm going to just tell you candidly what you need to believe for this to work. And you may not even believe it fully, but if you basically understand these things and then you do them, you're going to have a higher likelihood that you'll make money with this model. But instead of, like I said, telling you, here's this secret, here's that, this is what you need to believe or understand in order for this to work, okay? So the first point here is that local successful businesses pay thousands of dollars per month for installations or website builds and ongoing management of their website, their email, their automations, funnels, social media pages, you name it. Essentially their digital presence, right? So this is point number one. Now, before I move through each point, I'm going to show you with real live examples what I mean, because I could tell you theoretically, but this is about you, right? Understanding how you can do this so that you realize there's a real opportunity here. So let me show you. If I go to a new tab here and I do plumbers in Raleigh, North Carolina, this is just a random area. I'm going to show you a random business, right, that and show you real examples that these businesses are paying for digital presence, right? So if we click on this, well, first of all, the first thing you see, right, and I'm not in Raleigh, North Carolina. You could do this for Dallas, Texas. You could do this for anywhere. I'm familiar with the U.S. because I'm here in the U.S. If you're in another country, you can try this in your area, but you can still get customers in the U.S. But this isn't location dependent in terms of like specific cities only do this in the U.S. It's almost all of them where people offer services, right? And this is a basic business, just a plumbing business, right? So you can see already right here, people are paying. It's called sponsored Google ads, right? These people are already paying right here, right on the first search for digital presence, right? So there's money already being exchanged right here, right? Now, if we go below this, these are businesses that are ranking for free on Google, and they are paying for their digital presence in another way, right? So if we click on their website, right, we're going to see here's their website, right? And here's their About Us and plumbing services, right? This is just kind of a basic layout of their business. You can see here we have a chat widget and it says AI Connect. So this business, William Parrish Plumbing, is paying for this service, or unless they coded it themselves and built it, they're paying for it, right? Or they paid somebody to build it one time, right? And because I've been doing this for a while, I see right here, it says powered by Scorpion, right? And you'll see this is a separate company. I have no affiliation with them. And you can see they charge $99 per month, right? So there's $99 that this business is investing for their customers to be able to get in contact with them faster, right? In addition to that, this website has to be hosted somewhere, right? The website can't just exist, right? You have to build the website. You have to create the content for the website. And then once all of that is done, you have to have a place where this website exists, right? And back when I started 8 years ago, this was actually how I got my first customer. Was they needed help with their website, right? And I built the website right here on this particular platform called Wix, okay? I don't know why it's showing these types of pricing here. I feel like this is inflated, or I don't know why it's showing it in this currency. But this cost, let's see, United States. This is what I used back in the day, Wix, right? And like I said, I don't know why this is showing it this particular way. This should be in US dollars, but it's probably like $20 a month at minimum, right? So this, and that's on the lower end of a website, right? If you go to another website like Squarespace, this is another website builder that I've used to build a website, right? And if we go to, I don't know if I have to do sign up here, but basically, where's the damn pricing, basically? I don't know where the heck it is on this website, right? This thing is there's so much stuff here. I don't even know where it is. But basically, this website, right, has to be hosted. So they're paying $99 for this particular chat function, right? And then they're paying $20, $50, $100 a month for their website, right, itself. Then we have another element here, which most people don't see or know to look for, which is why once you see this stuff, you can't ever unsee it. And that was the breakthrough that I had that led me to everything I've created up until this point. It's even what allowed me to create a successful YouTube channel, because I understood this as well, right? So we have $99 here. Let's just say we got $50 on the website hosting. So we got $150 a month going out. Well, in order to actually drive traffic, right, which means people that search plumbers near me and they are in this area, right, then see William Parrish Plumbing as the number one plumbing company that ranks right here on Google. There's a few ways they have to either pay in time or pay for services to actually create this type of result, right, which is being number one. So, and how do I know this? Just so you know that this stuff isn't theory either. If you Google my name, I rank number one for my name. And my name's not probably super, super common, but I still own this entire page. There's my YouTube, there's my website, there's my LinkedIn, here's my YouTube content, here's photos of me, and here's the only one that is not me is this lacrosse player, right? But basically, you can see that I understand how to generate traffic through ranking on Google, right? And if you look up my company's New Breed Investor, you can see that I rank number one here, right? And there's me again. And if you look up one of our specific products, which is kind of what I'm showing you, I'm going to show you in this video, New Breed Investor CRM, you will see that this ranks number one below these sponsored ads, right? So not only am I just showing you with real examples, but I'm also like showing you through my practice what I've done, that I know how to rank on Google, and I know how to get videos and websites to generate traffic organically, right? And so these guys are paying $150 minimum for that chat widget and then for the website to be hosted. But if you want to actually rank like this, right, you have to spend time or money for SEO. And where do we actually see how they're generating traffic? Because if you don't know what to look for, you're probably not going to really understand this. But because I do this, I can show you. So if we click on plumbing services, we're going to see a list of all these particular, services that plumbers offer, right? So if I go to fixture plumbing, I'm going to see a page for that, right? And so if we take a look here, you're going to start to pay attention to Raleigh, North Carolina. So just start looking for Raleigh, North Carolina. And an easy way to see this stuff is if we just copy this over here and we search it up, we can see that on this particular page, the word Raleigh shows 4 times, okay? So when people are looking on Google, right, and they type in plumbers or plumbing or faucet leak or toilet leak or sink leak or whatever it is, right, and then they type plumbing and then they type Raleigh or they're in Raleigh, those particular keywords in combination start to create this effect where you start to rank, right? And that is just one of their pages, right? And so if we go to a second page like gas lines and we do the same thing, well, what do you know? 5 more times they have the word Raleigh, right? And you can see it's not like this content is really anything special, right? I'm going to show you how to use AI for all this stuff and wrap it all together in a model. But this is not some expertly written content, right? But you can see that they've used that keyword Raleigh 5 times on this page. And if we go to another page, you can see it again. We, type in Raleigh, search the page, 5 more times it's there, right? And so now we have the AI chat widget that they're paying $100 a month for. They're hosting this website, right, which is $50 a month. I mean, it could easily be $100 or more a month, but I'm just going to say 50. That's $150. Now, for an SEO service, right, where people are writing this content for this business, right, we can type in SEO dollars or average SEO service cost, which SEO is basically the service that you would call to help you rank on Google as number 1, right? And so you can see it can cost $500 to $50,000 per month. Okay, so to keep it more conservative and realistic, because if I tell you they're paying $50,000 a month, that's not realistic. What I would tell you is it's very feasible for them to be paying conservatively $1,000 a month. Now, if they're not paying monthly, it's very easy to say that they could have paid $5,000 to $10,000 for a one-time setup, and then the service or the business converted it to like a monthly fee, right? So that's very, very conservative to say $1,000 a month if this company's actually doing ongoing management and stuff. But if they're not doing ongoing, it's very easy to say, hey, they probably paid $5,000 for this whole thing to be set up, right? So there's an example, real life example, that successful local businesses pay, right, for their digital presence, right? I didn't just make this up. This isn't my fake business. This is a real business with this chat widget linked to another business, showing their pricing right there, right? Then you got to host the website. Like I said, you can go to Wix, you can go to Squarespace, you can go to WordPress. You'll see it's going to cost $20, $50, $100 a month to host a site. If you're going to have content here, good content that ranks, you're going to pay $5,000 to $10,000 one time or an ongoing fee of $1,000 a month. That's easy to say. That's not even mentioning all these other things that go into these businesses, right? This isn't necessarily a digital part of their business, but look, they have trucks, right? Trucks need gas. Trucks need maintenance, right? They have tools, right? So there's thousands of dollars just when you really understand, right? Because I didn't come from money, so I didn't really understand that this was how things worked, right? I kind of thought that money was scarce and there wasn't money out there. So once I started to see all this stuff, I realized, right, this opportunity. And once you see all these points stack on top of each other, you're going to understand really how powerful this actually is. But there's money everywhere, right? That this business is investing into their site, into their people, into their equipment, into their, their cars, right? The tools they have, all of this stuff, right? Costs money. And so that's the first point here, right? And this is, like I said, one of the first things you need to believe and understand in order for this to work. Because if you don't really think people will pay you thousands of dollars per month or, a few $1,000 for a setup, then because there's not money out there or people don't buy this type of stuff, you're probably like, it's not really going to last, right? Because you don't really truly grasp the fact that, dude, these people are spending money everywhere, right? And if you take a look at it, right, and you go back to the very beginning search, right, plumbers in Raleigh, North Carolina, you will actually see that they have 1,100 4.9 star reviews, right? And so that's 1,100 customers, right? And so and that's just the ones that left reviews, right? And look at all these services they offer. You can't do all these things and just these businesses don't spend any money, right? And so these are real businesses that actually spend on these services, right? And to take it a few steps further, just so you can really see the digital element of these things that cost money. If we go down, most of these sites, have their Facebook or Google or other social platforms linked. So if we go to Facebook here, you're going to see that they just posted an hour ago, right? And they posted December 31st and they're posting, right? So for a software, right, to manage posts like that and do it efficiently across multiple platforms, you would use a platform maybe like this. This is what I actually used when I started, but this is a company called Sprout Social. I don't have any affiliation with them, but you can see they may be paying $250 per month to post across 5 social profiles. And that's just for the software. If they have a team member, right, an admin or kind of maybe a younger marketing intern doing this for them, they're probably paying them a few $1,000s a month, right? So with the website, with the widget, with the management of the actual social platforms, the software, the hosting, the SEO, right there is easily $5,000 to $10,000 just either spent at one time or however you want to look at it, right? And so you need to understand that businesses are actually doing this, especially the successful ones, so that you can start to understand where this opportunity is. Now, That doesn't really quite paint the picture of where this real opportunity is for you though, okay? Because I showed you successful businesses paying thousands of dollars per month for these types of aspects of their digital marketing presence, right? But where's the gap, right? Well, the gap is that non-successful businesses either do not have these elements in place, their digital marketing presence, or they try to do it themselves and they kind of just half-ass them, right? And so how do we find an example of those types of businesses? Well, if we take the same exact search and let's just scroll down kind of to the next pages here of these listings here, let's see, there we go. So this business, right? And this business may even be way more successful than the number of reviews and the number of their average rating. But based on perception, right, you would think this person has only had maybe 10 customers. They probably don't do it consistently and they're probably not as successful. Now, I'm not saying that to judge this business. I'm just saying, hey, take a look at the number one ranked page on that particular search, right? They have 1,100 reviews, almost perfect, 5 stars, been in business for 20 years. They're spending money on these services because they know it brings them customers and they know it's important. And then we have another business who doesn't quite seem to value those same things in the same way, right? They don't have as many reviews. It doesn't really look like anything. We click on, their website or something. There we go. The website doesn't even load, right? So now I can't even show you on their website what's missing or what's not optimized. Their website doesn't even load. So now we see successful businesses spend money, right? And invest money in their business to make it better. Then maybe like I said, I don't want to say this business isn't successful because I don't know, but just other businesses don't have the same setup, right? Don't have the same digital presence. And so from a customer's perspective, right, it is less easier to do business with this person because what if I want to see their website? How do I know, what services they offer or whatever, right? And the website on its own isn't a determining factor of like everything, right? But if I go to one business, they have 1,000 reviews, a website that loads, the ability to chat with the business right there, on the spot. Another business only has 4 reviews and their website doesn't load, there's a gap, right? And so how does this actually translate, right, to the opportunity for you? Well, once you see that these businesses actually invest thousands of dollars per month, right, and then non-successful businesses do not have these systems in place or they try and do it themselves and they're kind of, like I said, half-ass, then how do you actually come into play? Well, number one, now you understand the problem, right? Which is these businesses, right, need ongoing help with these things. They already know the initial value of them, but nothing is ever completely static and just forever, at a pause, right? Things are always changing and you may need to optimize it. So there's one opportunity is these businesses are already paying for it. I'm going to find stuff that they're missing and optimize it for them, right? Then we see another opportunity, which is these businesses, right? They don't have their website that's set up and, hooked up correctly, right? They don't have a lot of reviews either. And they don't even have, they don't even have a photo, right? The other initial business that I showed you, it seemed like they had quite a bit of photos. So they're showing their employees actually working, doing projects. They look active. They look legit. Look at how many photos there are. So now we can kind of clearly see, okay, success leaves clues. This is what a successful company does. This is what they pay for. Cool. There's one opportunity for me because I can learn and then optimize for these businesses. I don't need to sell them. I need to show them how it's going to turn to more business. Non-successful businesses don't have this stuff. And so I can show them how, hey, when I Google plumbers in Raleigh, North Carolina, this company shows up as number one. They have 1,100, 4.9 star rating. They have photos, they have a loading website, they have all these things. And whatever that other business's name, you're missing these things. I can help you with them, right? So now you're starting to see how this stuff pieces together, right? And that's exactly, like I said, what I started to see when I got into this space. Now, the next component that you need to understand for this to actually work for you is there's an actual pattern that you can copy to create a duplicatable system for every business. And so what I mean by that is that if you look at, this business with 4.9, the great rating and all this, and this one even has 10,000 reviews, right? And we go to their website, we're going to see clues, right? And so when I say clues, I mean what you see when you're new, right? You don't quite see how it all works. Now that I've been doing it for 8 years and I've spent thousands of hours doing this, right? This is essentially almost everything I've ever done is kind of in this space, so I can see it really easily. But when you're new and you don't really see it, you kind of just see it innocently, like, oh, there's their website, and you don't really think anything of it, right? But where there's an actual opportunity is there's clues, right? And so clues meaning you can model and duplicate and create these systems that successful businesses have in place so that you can sell them, right, to either successful businesses to help them optimize, or you can sell them to maybe less successful businesses when it comes to digital marketing so that they have a basic setup in place that is that actually moves the needle, right? And I'm going to kind of tell you what these things are, because if I just leave it up to you to see them and like look for them, you may not see them all. But I can tell you right here that this is the first piece, okay? Which is this pattern, or this kind of clue here, is one functioning website optimized to convert leads, or excuse me, to generate traffic and capture leads. So this is the first component, right? For you to learn, okay, I see the problem. Like I see the problem and the opportunity. Okay, cool. But I don't really know what to do with it, right? Well, now I'm going to lay it out for you so you can start to piece this stuff together. So the website, right? The website generates traffic through the SEO, right? Which I showed you is a combination of keywords and articles with these particular keywords, right? So a website having these particular keywords and content here is what creates a functioning website that is optimized to generate traffic. SEO is essentially what allows this to be possible. And if you take a look here, that's the first website. Well, let's take a look at the second one. I'll bet you they have blogs about their specific services. I can already see them with that same keyword, right? So if you see, this one says all cooling services. So look at that, Raleigh, North Carolina. What did I tell you? It's the same exact thing. So if we go to heating services, you can actually see this one doesn't even have nearly as much content. But look, Raleigh is written 3 times right here, right? We can go to heat pump installation. So these are just one paragraph, little pieces of content, right? That in this particular instance is allowing them to rank number 2 on Google. Now it's a combination of reviews and, the actual content here and how long people spend on the site, and the actual, like if people are spending time on the site, that kind of informs Google that, hey, these people are, searching something up, they're looking for something, and then they're spending time here because they're getting value, right? They're spending time, maybe they're filling out an application or they're booking online, right? So all these things are connected, but the things you can control initially, right, are at least having a functioning website, right, for a business. Then in addition to that, we can see all these different plumbing services and all the keywords that say Raleigh, right? And just to show you that this is a real pattern, right? This isn't just me telling you it's a pattern. We can do this in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'll bet you that these ones that have top reviews and rank number 1 here will have blog content that says Phoenix. So if we go here to website, we should see, a toolbar right here. There it is. Services, same exact thing. Look at that. There we got the widget. So there we go. Let's see how much this thing costs. I don't know if it's going to show their pricing right here. Let's see. Okay, $20 a month, right? But now you're seeing these patterns. This other successful site in a totally different state has a live chat widget. They have their phone number available. And then when you go to plumbing services, I bet you if we type in Phoenix, we're going to find some keywords. What do you know? 5 words, just like the first one on the same blog, right? Or the same piece of content. And we'll copy the same thing. If we go to random one, I mean, I haven't ever seen this website before. If we go right here, what do you know, right? So there you go. That's really just the first, that's kind of the tip of the iceberg of this entire thing. But basically there's success that leaves clues, right? So it's not just, well, I don't know how to make a website. I don't know how to rank on SEO. I don't have any idea how this all works. Now there's an actual, by breaking it down, we can actually reverse engineer the success. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's actually insane when you can see it, because it just validates how strong of a correlation there is with having this particular keyword and ranking at the top, right? And once you know how to do this, which I'm going to briefly touch on in this video, you can now start to have a valuable system that you can charge high ticket prices for, not just because I'm blowing smoke and telling you to charge a bunch of money, but because this stuff actually moves the needle for these businesses, okay? So now you see this pattern of a website that is optimized to generate traffic, which is through the keywords and the reviews and the photos and all around just having presence, right? But the main example in this one being the SEO. The second thing is the ability to capture leads, okay? And we're going to see clues, right? I'm going to close all these out so we don't get distracted here. But I'm going to show you like this same pattern, like I showed you with the keyword, with forms or some sort of survey. So the easiest one is usually contact us, right? So this is one way to collect leads, to request an actual appointment. There you go, right? Request a callback. The second way they can collect leads is through this chat now, widget, right? The third way that I'm seeing right now, and keep in mind, this isn't planned like I know this exact website. This is just from my experience. The third one is through the actual phone number, right? There may be more. Usually, if they're good, you'll see with the blog, you should see a form on the side or at the bottom of the actual thing. This schedule your service, I don't know if this takes us to the contact. Yeah, it takes you to the contact us page. So what I would tell you from all my experience is that if we go to any one of these pages, you're going to see this top heading with a different headline. And then you're going to see a schedule your service button, which goes to the contact us page. And then you'll see the same number, but all this content will be changed. So if we go to a random one, jetting services, we're going to see a different title. Boom, there you go. There's the Phoenix keyword, and there's the button routing back to the main contact us page. Here's a YouTube video, which actually was not in the other one. This is another way to generate traffic, right? So this is solid that they're actually doing this. So this is another way you can actually help businesses, because simple searches like this do rank on YouTube. They don't maybe get a lot of views, but 177 people on this website watching this. I mean, if another site in the Phoenix area doesn't have a video of the real employee or something, that could literally be the difference of like, hey, I watched, this 3-minute video and I kind of like this person and I'm going to call them, right? And I've seen that firsthand because I have hundreds of videos online and people tell me all the time that they've watched me for years. Literally, I had someone the other day, I've watched you for years and now I just signed up with your stuff and I never talked to them, right? So there's another example though of ranking, right? Using keywords and content, but you can see this is how they're collecting leads. One of the ways, water treatment, reverse osmosis. I bet you this thing is changed. There you go. And just so you know that I'm not, like I said, I think I'll just choose Memphis, Tennessee, a random first ranking business here. We should see a blog. They're ranked number 1. They've got a ton of reviews. Plumbing services. It's almost look. This is the same. This is the same business providing the service as the first one that I showed you guys. Scorpion, the $99 chat widget website. Okay, so you guys can see this for yourself. Look, drain cleaning, and there you go. This is the same website. This company is actually doing what I'm telling you guys to do and what I did, right? This looks like the same exact website as the first one. It's just different branding, but it's the same thing, okay? You can actually see Scorpion did the website right there. So there it is, firsthand. Look, drain cleaning. We type in Memphis. There it is. You can see it right there. You go to another one, Memphis again. Okay, so you guys should get the point. And if you don't think I'm making it up or something, go do it on your own computer and look around. Do it on another business. Like I don't even know another business because I'm so blown away that this is right here. But try it on a roofer or a plumbing, or this is plumbing. I guess, chiropractor, right? Whatever it is, right? Look up these businesses or businesses you frequent and see if you can piece this stuff together. Once you see this is what successful businesses do, non-successful businesses don't do it, there's the gap. And then there's an actual pattern that you can copy that's not just, like magic. It's not magic, right? There's a pattern here when you actually see behind the curtain how this stuff works. You rank with keywords, you get reviews, you have content on your site, and there you go, right? And you obviously have to have a legit business, but the digital part of this is very, you can engineer this when you see how this stuff all actually works, right? So this is the main component to the actual kind of pattern, right? This is the hub of the traffic, the hub of generating the leads. But there's some additional things through my experience that I've actually pieced together that can also help you add more value. But I won't get into those right in this point because this already, taking some time to go through this is already enough. So I'll show you that later. But there are other elements that even more, like the same way that generating traffic and capturing leads is a pattern. There are other things on the back end that these businesses do when it comes to automation that you can also model and reference as a part of your system, right? Okay, so now you understand that businesses pay for these things and they do certain things that non-successful businesses don't. Then we now see an actual path, right? A path to and a method to actually modeling this and filling in the gap. But where there's still kind of maybe question marks is, well, okay, cool. I get it. I don't know how to build a website. I don't know how to do SEO. I don't know how to do this, right? Well, now we can use AI to do these things for you guys. And I'm going to show you just briefly so you understand. If we go to ChatGPT, we can easily create this stuff in a way that will actually kind of blow your mind. Because when I started, I mean, none of this was available. So we can basically just tell ChatGPT, create an SEO optimized article for my plumbing business for the category of emergency plumbing. I want to rank number 1 in, I'm just going to do Sacramento, California. So make sure to incorporate that into the content. And so just like this, we see this thing right here and we're like, I'm not going to write that. And you can't just copy it, right? So now AI is doing this all for you, just like that. You can regenerate this as well if you're newer to AI, which means you can just have it come up with a different version of it. You can have it make the article longer. You can have it make the article shorter. You can have it put in the keyword Sacramento 10 more times, 9 more times. I mean, you essentially have a SEO worker for you, right? You can use this 24/7, 365. I mean, you would have had to pay, like I showed you in the first example, thousands of dollars to potentially have someone write this, years ago. And even then, people found out patterns, right, that rank, and so they kind of use the same format, which is why this is so valuable, because ChatGPT understands how this stuff works, and so it can use what it understands to write this content. So now I filled in the gap of how you can help these businesses generate traffic, like the actual creation of these blog articles for particular categories of a plumbing business, right? And then I'm going to show you how you can actually use website templates and stuff so that you don't even have to learn how to build a website, and you can just fill in the content with AI. And the last point here, I'm going to show you first the actual website template. So let me open this up. So I'm inside of this software, which I'll explain more about, but let me just kind of show you how we can go to this websites here. We can click on new websites, click from templates, and I can type in plumbing. And just like this, we can click on it, click continue, and it's now going to add in this particular template to this software here. Like I said, I'll explain it so it all makes sense, but I just want to show you in real time, the same way I showed you these businesses are, spending money on stuff and there's clues. I want to show you in real time, instead of just saying you can use a website builder, how easy this stuff is. So if we go to this, Smith's Plumbing, their home page, we can literally just copy this. You would use ChatGPT to actually write the content for an actual business, because like I said, we can't just copy people. I'm just showing you this for the sake of the example that I don't know how to code. I haven't known how to code for 8 years, and I've been able to sell high-ticket services because I understand what I just showed you, right? And so we can easily edit this stuff, right, to where it is rewritten by ChatGPT so that we have actual content here. And then in addition to that, we can also fill this in with the specific business's team members or whatever, right? This is drag and drop stuff. You don't have to, create any of this as well. You can also, for this, because this is another way to get traffic, is by by having frequently asked questions using the keyword. So for example, great, I'm going to just say great, now create an SEO optimized list of 10 FAQ. I'm just going to do 5 because I don't want it to take that long to generate, but you could do 10, 20 frequently asked questions that are SEO optimized based on the original city. So now create an SEO optimized list of 5 FAQs for this website ranking for the same city. And so just like this, now it's going to start writing this stuff. Oops, yeah. So now it's going to start writing these frequently asked questions. So what is considered a plumbing emergency? So this is specific FAQs for emergency plumbing. You could tell it to write the content for like the website as a whole and not just this particular keyword, but that's, what I pretty much told it to do. And then check this out. If you go back to this site here and we copy that over, and then we copy this over, boom. We've now created this particular site with one. I only put one question, but just to show you, this is a live website now. You can see here, I have this particular keyword here. I didn't change any of the content obviously here, but then I also have this particular frequently asked question. And so when you have 10 of these or 20 of these, now when people start searching, those pages are going to start ranking over time. It takes some time, but you'll see how this all wraps around into, a high ticket thing that you can actually sell, right? So there you can see, right, AI can be used to write the SEO articles, and you can use copy and paste website templates so that you don't have to know how to edit these websites. And like I told you guys, if you have some income or have some savings, or you're willing to like try this out and put money, you can go to Fiverr and just type in, website, and you can find people that build really clean, simple websites. You don't even need them to build it, right? You just need them to make sure that everything looks good and is formatted. So you can have somebody edit it for $100, $150 to make it look a certain way and just make sure everything's good, right? So you provide the content with the AI-generated SEO. And if you want to go a step further, you can generate AI SEO content and then have somebody over here on the same website. You can have them do, copywriting. So if you want it a little bit more human, you can have somebody here rewrite the content. Now, what I would tell you from, spending a lot of time with writing on ChatGPT, you can just keep giving it feedback, right? And telling it to write it a little bit differently or have a different style or whatever. And I mean, it's going to come up with content good enough to actually rank. I mean, that's really the point, right? I just don't want you guys to rely so heavily on the AI where you don't understand some of what goes into it, like the thinking. But at the end of the day, the way that AI is accelerating, maybe what I'm saying sounds foolish in the future, where it's like, why would I do this if AI can do it fully, right? That's just me, because I had to learn this stuff pretty much naturally, right? There was no thing that just pumped out the content. Okay, so those are some options you can use to actually, write the copy and edit the site and make sure that it's formatted a certain way, right? That's paid if you want to do it. If it's not, if you don't have any income or you want to try it fully without it, then I would suggest, like I said, learning it yourself and just doing this and putting some time into it. But it's really not much more than what I showed you, and creating another little page here with those blogs of services like the ones that I showed you, and then just writing the actual, copy pasting the blog content and putting it here on this particular site, right? So that's how we can use AI to actually do this for you, so you don't need to be an expert and like know how to do all this stuff by hand, right? Now, the last point, which I already showed you the software, but this is where it all kind of ties together, okay? So you understand the opportunity of like the digital marketing presence costing money and people paying for that service, and also how these non-successful businesses don't have this stuff in place and they need it, or you need to optimize those existing businesses. Third, you understand that there's a pattern, right? It's not magic. You're not left clueless by just seeing something and not having any understanding of how it all works together. Then fourth, even though you understand how it all works, you don't have to be an expert to actually do this type of stuff. You can leverage software and tools, which I already showed you inside the software. But the last piece, which ties it all together, is that you can actually use, right, this software that I'm in right now to create these businesses in a box. And so let me really kind of ground that point in so you understand what it means. So let's just pretend that this digital presence that we're referring to consists of a website, consists of a few forms, consists of a few blogs, and consists of that like live chat widget thing, right? Let's just say those four things make up that a successful business's digital presence, right? There's obviously more to it, but just to keep it simple. So you could understand all points 1 through 4, but if you don't understand that there's software you can use to actually build this type of a system once, right? And then sell it to these businesses, either an unlimited amount of times to different businesses for like one-time high ticket fees, or you can actually lease them out monthly where they rent these businesses from you, or this digital presence from you, right? And just so you understand here that this is actually what I do with, and it's more, now I do more of the renting because, or let me do is equal to, now I do more of the renting here because, that's just where I'm at in my business. You can actually see this is one payment I think that just came in while I was recording this video. But the renting of the actual business, and I think that is a new customer, because if you look on December 1st, I actually see it right here. New customer for my business. So there's you can't make it up. I could show you, or let me screenshot it so you can see it right here. Let's see. But that's a new customer as we're speaking, right? So it takes time to get it automated to that extent. I don't want to set the expectations, but you can just see, making sure there's nothing sensitive on there. New client, 47 minutes ago. I don't think you can even see that well. Oh, I can make it lower brightness. I don't know if you can see that, but you see it right here. And it wasn't on December 2nd, right? So that's more what I do now is the renting of it. But let me kind of tie this all together, right? So you can see what I mean, and also that I'm doing it. So let's just say, like I said, that this system consists of your website. So, this successful business system is like a website with what I told you, right? The ability to generate traffic and capture the leads. And then in addition to that, maybe they have like a form, like the contact us form. They have the live chat widget. And then I can't remember the other specific thing that I said. The blogs, right? So let's just say that this is what a successful business has at minimum for like their digital marketing presence. So if you understand points 1 through 4, then it's cool, but there's really not a way to like monetize it without continuing to like do this over and over. Well, this is where the software that I'm going to share with you comes into play. And this is what I've done. And this is how I actually just got that customer that I just showed you, by renting out this system, right, to that business owner so that they can borrow the website and the form without ever owning it. They're using it through my platform. So the software is called Go High Level. If you're on the channel or you know what the software is, then it's not like I'm revealing to you anything totally new. But if you actually type in Go High Level Quinn Nolan on Google, you will see that I have a special trial link And this trial gives you access to this tool for 30 days completely free. And you can cancel anytime. You don't have to call me or call them and talk to them about why you're canceling. And you just click one button, you cancel, right? But I've been using this software for the past 5 years, and it's how I built these systems that I'm showing you. And it's how you can build this for an unlimited amount of clients as well. So they have different plans. The first plan that they have, it gives you basically 3 clients, right? So you can have 3 different client or businesses. And then the second plan, they have unlimited, which is crazy because you pay $300 a month, but you could have unlimited businesses in a box, right? And then the 5th plan is $500 a month. And then there's some different perks and stuff for that particular plan. Now, the trial link that I have for this extended trial is on the $500 plan. However, you can downgrade if you decide to keep the software on that 29th day or right before they bill you. So you could downgrade. But this is the only link that they allow for people like me that promote the software to provide like a longer trial for. So you can use this particular link to start a trial. But let me kind of explain how this component actually works, because I think it's important if you're newer to the software to really see like how you tie all this stuff together. So like I said, now that you understand kind of the model, how it all works, then if these things are the essential component for a business, right, then what this software allows you to do that no other software allows you to do, and I mean it when I say that no other software allows you to do it. Maybe there's some that are coming out that will do this, but not can't do it like this. And like I said, I've been on the software for 5 years. I think I actually started a trial in 2019, so 5.5 years potentially, but depending on the month. But I've been using this because what I used to do was everything I showed you, but I had to redo these system build outs every single time that I actually, got a new customer, right? Whereas now that customer you just saw pay right now live on video, and you can go to the beginning. I think I showed the $297 price point, but if you go back to the beginning of the video where I show the price points, you will not see that sale right there, because that's basically, like I said, an hour ago, right when I started recording. But this software is what allowed me to get this person to pay me right now on this video. And then when they actually signed up, they got access to this suite, this digital business suite that they need for their business, which includes for the way that I do this, it includes a marketing funnel. It includes text and email automations, all these things that are pre-programmed and ready to go. And then because I'm at the point where it makes more sense for me to rent these out to businesses, which long term, I think will make you the most money, because if you never own something, right, but you're renting it forever and ever, and people are paying you to rent it from you, you're going to make more, especially if they stick with it, right? Imagine, those websites that I showed you, imagine they've had that website for 3 years or 5 years. If they're paying $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year, right? And times 5 years, I mean, that's $15,000. So unless you're selling the system, right, for $15,000 or something, basically the most simple way to explain it is that whatever the lifetime value is of the customer is, whichever one's higher is the one you're going to make the most money with, right? Just on those two components. So it depends where you are financially. If it makes more sense for you to say, hey, I'm just going to sell these one-offs for $3,000, $5,000, and then I'm done with it. Or, you can do it, like I said, where you rent it out like I do. So this customer, has access to it right now. It's fully automated. Now he has access to it, or she has access to it. And then if in a month they keep it, they got to pay again and again and again and again and again, right? Now, if they don't like it, they cancel, and then I lose that income, but they don't keep those assets. They can't keep the funnel, the website. They don't own it. It's owned by me, right? And so when it comes to how we can use this software, when we create our website, when we create our blogs, when we create our live chat widget, when we create these things that the software allows us to create, which is, I only am covering like a small section of it, like less than probably 10%. When we combine all those elements and create it in an account, we can almost like screenshot it. So imagine on your phone, you see an image of something, you just screenshot it, right? We can basically just screenshot it. In this software, it's called Snapshot, but you can create a snapshot of a business, right? And that snapshot, if done correctly, should include automated SEO, because that means you don't ever have to actually rewrite these articles, especially if you choose the same industry, right? So if you did plumbing or roofing or another industry, well, if you do the SEO content correctly and you set it up correctly, then there's some little ninja hacks. Like I said, I'm not going to show you how to do all that right here. If you want, you can, click down below and get that trial using the link. And then by starting a trial with me, I'm going to come out with a detailed course, not necessarily going to be super long, but just I'll show you this particular method. So I'll have a course for people that actually sign up using, that link that I mentioned. And I'll show you specifically how to do this in detail, like step by step. But once you make this snapshot, is what it's called in the software, you can sell it unlimited amounts of times. Like, I mean, I have snapshots that I have sold. Like, I mean, you just saw it right there. It's the same product. It's the same business in a box, and you can sell them for, like I said, $1,000 or, you know, that one that I actually mentioned. I think that was in this particular video. This one right here, it was me getting paid. Now that you see the whole story, this one right here was me getting paid to build a snapshot. Right when I had signed up for, you know, Go High Level. So I got paid $6,000 to build the snapshot. Then, because I had already built it, guess what? And the client was getting results with the snapshot and making money from the snapshot, then I started to target other customers that would need that exact snapshot in different areas. And that, to this day, is exactly what I sell for $297 per month, because it's a recurring fee and it's the software, right? I'd be getting into all the specifics of my business and stuff of different things I have, but I basically was able to take this system I built for somebody, productize it, automate it, make it more user-friendly so it could be used as a software. And then now people can rent this from me because they don't want to go build a website from scratch. They don't want to go build the funnel. They don't want to go write all this content. So your opportunity is seeing the gap, using AI to fill it in, and then using Go High Level to essentially snapshot it so that you can just duplicate your success and never have to keep recreating, you know, systems for these businesses. And because if you do this correctly, and we go back to this Raleigh or plumbers in Raleigh, North Carolina, because if you do this correctly, this package right here to do this right, where there's the about us, the plumbing, all this stuff is pretty much plug and play. In the course, I'll show you these ninja hacks to make it, you know, crazy. You'll see in the course. But if you see that all this content right here, this is easily to demonstrate this to a plumber and say, look at this #1 ranking website. I got this same system. It's just tailored for you, whatever areas you want to rank in. We can swap some stuff out and we can get you this system in less than a day. Easy, thousands of dollars you can charge for this. And if you want to go the other way, like, you know, the way I'm doing more right now, and do it this way works as well. I'll cover more of the details of like when you should do, you know, what specific pricing in the course, because I want people to succeed with it. And you may think it's cool right now, oh, you're getting $297 every month, but the reality of it is that if you're newer to this, charging a higher upfront fee and just, you know, doing it that way makes more sense. I just have an audience and traffic, so I can do all that without sales calls. So there's a bunch of stuff to cover on that, but if you want this free course, it's not complete yet. I'll base it on how many people sign up for this trial and, you know, actually just respond. I'm not going to go make it and no one wants it. But if, you know, you guys sign up for the trial or you join the free group, and I'll do a post in the free group and comment, you guys can comment if you want that course. I just need to see if you guys want this. Then I will cover those things, and then you guys can really see how to do this. But that should give you enough of a head start to like understand what this is and how it all works. You may just need a little bit more of the details. So click down below for a free trial. If you don't want to do the trial or whatever, but you want the course or something, just you think that would be interesting, just comment below. Actually, I'm saying too many things. Just check the link in the description, because saying what I say on video ends up, you know, yeah, I'd rather just tell you to click below or see whatever is below, because I'll figure it out after. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is what I would do. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing it a little differently than maybe you would want to do it now, but it's powerful. It's really powerful, and it's so valuable because, like I said, once you have this thing set up, it's just a plug and play, rinse and repeat, and then all it comes down to is just finding the people that need it and then installing it. So that is it. I will see you guys in the next video, and make sure to subscribe if this was valuable, and check the description if you're interested in kind of learning a little bit more. So see you in the next one, and talk to you then. Bye-bye.